Before watching this video, please first watch videos 1, 2, 3, and 4 of this series in their correct order, or you may not understand what is being revealed in its true context. Here is what the soul looks like. It is a processing terminal of the processing system of life, a component of the house of God. This drawing was referred to as the Holy City, not the Jerusalem on earth, which was named after the Holy City in heaven, and not to be confused with Paradise, or the Garden of Eden, described in ancient manuscripts. This drawing shows the soul in the Holy City, not to be confused with the house of God, even though the Holy City is a component of the house of God. Life, the real self, or awareness, a conceptual partition of the life of God, resides in its own house, within the house of God. This is why the life of God, said through the avatar Jesus, recorded in a biblical manuscript titled, The Gospel According to John, in chapter 14, quote, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. Therefore, I go, to prepare a place for you. And if I prepare a place for you, I will come again, and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also." All that is experienced, exists in the form of stories, as nothing material actually exists. That's right, even my avatar is just a story, as it is not possible to create matter from nothing. But matter can be manifested in the form of a story, involving a simulation. A story is just a program, which can involve an experience, that is to say, the interactions between more than one entity or component. Another type of storybook describes an object and its workings. The house of God, as well as the Holy City, and the soul also exist as storybooks. In each of these books are millions and millions of subbooks, involving their building blocks and structures. There is nothing material about them. The so-called material experience is established through stories containing rules, involving kinetics, making you believe that somehow your universe and human body is material. When a soul or terminal is born, and is based on what was referred to as the House of David, involving a hexagonal format, not octagonal. A conceptual droplet of awareness, in other words life, the real self, exists in the nucleus of the soul. The new soul or terminal is manifested on the outside of the house of God, together with the permanent libraries. The soul or terminal is seen as a three-dimensional structure. This drawing shows a side view of the terminal, revealing its processing structure on its underside. The little droplet of awareness or life resides in the nucleus of the soul, shown in blue, in the upper structure of the soul. A program produces an environment involving billions of structures, like buildings, with a circular opening in the roof of each structure, where a soul is attached, looking down into its building. Inside these buildings exists hardware, which presents the program involving the earth and human body. This photo of an ancient mosque shows octagonal roofs, representing souls on the top of these buildings. At first the soul has a hexagonal format, but at a certain time, the life in the soul returns to the white light down through the building, and the head of the soul is decapitated. Its nucleus restructured with a square format, then the life of the soul returns to the new nucleus. The program being observed in the building goes on for some time, and then the soul lifts off its building, to make direct contact with the outer face of the house of God. In my next video of this series I will show the hardware inside the structures that look like buildings, presenting the program involving the earth, for the soul to read or experience.